There is no better way to defend yourself against unkind words than to treat them as a joke. Welcome to the Captains and Coaches podcast, where we explore the art and the science of leadership through the lens of athletics and beyond. I'm your host, Tex McQuilkin, and today is all about the banter. I had the opportunity to go up to South Jersey to meet with CJ Appenzeller and his coaching staff to work on their improvement and working on client retention. While I was there, I got to observe CJ working with professional baseball players, and CJ gave me a chance to speak in front of them. Didn't know what I wanted to talk about, but I've known CJ for a number of years and value and appreciate his ability to talk trash to his athletes, his peers, his friends. And so knowing this about him, observing it with his athletes in real time and watching them push and fight in their training, I decided to give it a label, and I introduced the concept to them called candor. So Radical Candor is a famous book. I heard Coach Greg Williams talk about candor, Soldiers to Sidelines event, and I love the term. Simply put, candor is honest feedback for your athletes because you care about them. It's compassionate honesty, truth with care. And if we think about previous podcasts we've had with David Yeager, we talk about a transformational coach, a mentor mindset when coaching. You have high support and high expectations. So us delivering this candor, this direct feedback to them, that's a form of compassion and care. Now delivering it in a style, in a sense like CJ does with banter and some jokes, now we're really getting and meeting the athletes where they're at. The best locker rooms I've ever been a part of have been that candor with banter. So they are speaking truth. They're just telling it in a joking manner and getting some ribbings to it. So I aim to introduce radical candor to them and the value of them as being assertive leaders in the locker room by initiating that candor with their teammates. There's a lot of benefits from this that I'm going to cover, but man, they did an amazing job. They've got an amazing coach, and I'm looking forward to seeing those guys succeed in their professional careers. And the bottom line, the theme, the message that I got the opportunity to deliver to them: laugh as a team, grow as a team. So you develop trust. If I can say one thing to a teammate, does he give it back to me? Now we're starting to develop a bond, and I can trust him in a stressful situation. So there are many things to banter I'm going to cover. And the first one, banter actually, it promotes respect. People are not getting defensive. They're able to be coachable and receive a form of feedback. And that's the beauty of it. It's banter promotes respect versus disrespect. We're not speaking these things in demeaning and have the intent of taking our teammates down. No, we want to be playful. We want to have fun. We want them to play loose. So there is a form of respect in what we're saying. It's not being disrespectful and demeaning. So when athletes joke with each other, it signals mutual trust and a psychological safety where we can fail in front of our teammates and they're not going to get after us. They're going to build us back up. So it's like seniors who are roasting freshmen in the preseason. This is not bullying. This is not hazing. They're roasting them. It's a form of affection as a rite of passage to let them know you're one of us. So we're using words in a playful manner, in a sense where it's around practice or it's in social scenes like at the calf or hanging out with each other, and it's representative of that. I had amazing seniors when I was a freshman. Excellent group, amazing trash talkers with us, and they aim to bring us up and level us up through that to show that we were part of the crew. And they knew they had experience for how long a season actually is. Within high school sports, you play it for a particular season, then you change the sports. When you get to college, it's one sport all the freaking time for 4 years. So in order for us to make it through the drudges of certain lengths of practices or seasons, they kept it light, they kept it fun, and they brought us up to speed on how to do that. Now, there were certain seniors that weren't having fun with it, and they were being jerks. They were abusing their power. And guess what? Freshman class, one of us, a defenseman, he stepped into that player's role, took his starting job, and then that player quit. So he thought he was really good at delivering, but he couldn't take it. And then that was very representative of the type of athlete he was. He ended up quitting when one of the freshmen he tried to demean took his spot on the field. So it is a sense that was representative of the character when he would face with challenge, how he acted. Um, so that's just one example. So it aims to build that trust and initiate conversation with team members and see what they're made of. And a senior talking to a freshman, it's also an opportunity for you to step into a mentor role and teach them, hey, we're just messing around, man, and what it's like to be that. So it's a test and a teacher in that sense. It's a stress rehearsal, I like to call it, and it builds calluses for competition. That's another example I gave to the baseball pros I was talking to, where we train, we're bench pressing, we're deadlifting, we're gripping and ripping stuff. We develop calluses on our hands. Well, similar within the locker room talk, we're able to develop calluses socially and emotionally for when there are people outside of the locker room that try to drag and bring us down. So we are getting an opportunity to stay composed when somebody's trying to knock us off our balance, our mental balance. And we're training also to perform under that emotional stress. Within practice, when our offenses and defense, we are talking trash to one another. Yes, it's playful, it's banter, it's competitive, but at the same time, we're going after each other, trying to knock each other off. But there is a mutual respect within that, knowing that if at practice we can push and they push back, when the going gets tough in game time against another opponent, I trust that if they are pushed, they'll push right back. So it's a sense of a test and a teacher. And I'd love to quote movies. Think about basketball and the value of the psych out. You get points for psyching another person out. And then the Departed scene with Alec Baldwin and Marky Mark, where Alec Baldwin asked him, hey, how's your mother? And Marky Mark just completely nails it, gives it right back, is quick with it. So uh, using banter to test composure and focus before high stakes moments. So if you are a leader on a team, start to test those freshmen, not in a demeaning way, aiming to call them out for certain things. So athletes who can laugh through stress can usually play through it. I was a freshman that took everything way too seriously. That was that was my personality. I was quiet. I was lead by example, no questions asked. I'm going to be the first person there and the last to leave. If we're losing a game, I'm going into the weight room. Yes, I had a key. So that's the type I was. But I had two great teammates that were in my freshman class, the Twin Towers, we'll call them, one from Southie and one with an older brother who would become famous for the amount of nightmares that he would give athletes that we were playing against heckling on the sidelines. And these two dudes, they were relentless. They saw how much I cared and they did value that. But at the same time, if I took things too seriously and got angry at myself, they were there to have a sense of humor about it and and were relentless. Even so much so, I broke my leg 8 days before our first game my freshman year. And the school, before I even went to the hospital to get an x-ray, before I even knew it was broken, they just gave me an ace wrapped bandage and wooden crutches, small Catholic school in the East Coast. And so February, I'm crutching around on my wooden crutches with my buddies. And then I freaking, on my strong foot, slip on ice. My wooden crutches break and I fall on my ace bandage, broken ankle. It's the worst pain. It hurt infinitely more than actually breaking it. It was so freaking painful. I'm tearing up just thinking about it. And what do my two buddies do? they just start bursting out and laughing at me. Luckily, the athletic trainer was not far behind us leaving after that practice, and she helped me up and was able to get my foot right. Very painful, but they were able to balance the pain out with laughter, and I could see the humor. If I was on the other end of this, I would certainly be laughing. So they were able to use humor in my most painful moment of my entire life to help ease the tension. And over time, I was able to find that balance between the hard work mentality with the knowledge that we were just gonna have a great time together. So it if you have that lead by example, that hard ass, there is an opportunity to break them and bring them into the fold of being a good teammate. So uh, ways to accomplish that is balancing your ball busting with celebration. In my experience, why someone is so task oriented, they have a sense of accomplishment by checking all those boxes, or they're looking for acknowledgement by working so hard. So now, if we're able to acknowledge what they're supposed to do and provide a sense of humor with it, it's a big win. So, banter without celebration, that becomes cynicism. Uh, Banter is an opportunity for us to accelerate the bonds and believe that we're responsible for each other's success. So, anytime we have a big win or a celebration with the teams that I coach now, I have a sense of humor about it, some playful banter worked within it. I've worked with and I've had generations of coaches, parents, bosses that they believe withholding praise and recognition is what builds humility. And they don't acknowledge those wins or what the box is being checked because that's what we're supposed to do. I disagree with that. We want to acknowledge, and if you want to maintain humility with them, then apply a sense of humor with it and celebrate the wins, good reps, small breakthrough, big game, and continue to show how much you care with some humor on top of that. Um, so that's an opportunity for us to break through to the very task-oriented hard asses and get them to see this value of banter. Because sometimes the athletes that joke around and be playful at certain times, that kid doesn't get included. Aim to bring them in as a coach, acknowledge their work, and celebrate with some fun stuff. All right. So continuing from the coach's perspective, banter is an opportunity to release tension. It's a great tension release tool for a coach. Most of our feedback as coaches, 90% of it is corrective. Fix your stance. Do this. Rewind in that film. What were you thinking there? So banter is an opportunity for us to then have that 10% be so valuable and still show that we're connected and care. And without humor, our coaching and direction, it feels heavy handed, one sided, and banter will help keep the tone light between the whistles and resets that athlete coach connection when we need it. Uh, Making deprecating jokes if I'm doing a demo, it's I usually only have to be good for 1, 2, or 3 reps and joke and say, I still got it. Or if I have to do a good rep during a demo, I find the heaviest dumbbell in there, I do it for one and just show off. So having humor within my demos of movement that eases the tension, certainly when I'm teaching. It helps build rapport too and shows humanity and models an emotional balance versus trying to be the hard ass coach all the time. There is a break in case of emergency during a halftime. If you're not playing loose, if you're not playing to your full potential, and we're not even close, I'm talking down 5, 8, 10, there's still a chance that we can come back. I feel that's a good time for humor. If we're close, then I'm going to stay locked in and focus on the task that or we need to complete 1, 2, 3 things. If it's still in grasp, but we need to play fast, we need to play loose to accomplish this, then I'm going to break out the humor at halftime and go from there. So one example of that during our first lacrosse game last season, what I did, team we certainly should have been beating, we were losing. I let them know that the average person makes 3 to 4 mistakes every single day. And guess what? And called out 5 dudes on the team that they're already done for the day. There's nothing but green lights moving forward. So that was a sense of humor, break glass in case of emergency, to get some smiles out there and let them know, hey, this is the first game of the season and we got a long way to go. But let's crawl back and make this a great story. That's another thing I love to tell them. This is going to make a better story. That's a positive reframing. It's fun and a sense of banter that helps them understand when they do tell the story of this big comeback, it's going to be in a playful manner. So that's one sense from a coaching perspective I love to throw out there. And then the last tip here for team environments, I want to invite banter in. If we're I know laughter lowers egos and barriers and it builds unity. So think about the different team building tasks that you've experienced that brought your team together. I would like to keep those as movement based as possible so they're connected to a skill that's related and connected to our bodies. So this could be top golf, it could be bowling, it could be line dancing. So everybody sucks at that stuff until they don't. We get an opportunity where even coaches step out there and show them what a piss poor golfer I am. I'm a phenomenal dancer though. So love to show off in that sense. But the bowling as well. Bowling, not my strong suit. I love to get the lightest ball and just whip it as hard as I can. I should work on technique, but I want to just take the 6 pounder and blow some stuff up. But I work humor into that. You're going to have kids that suck and they're learning to laugh at their own mistakes. It's similar to how we want to run certain practices, or if they're taking it too seriously, then hey, look, we're just having fun here. It's a movement. If there is a kid that needs humbling within our team, this is an opportunity for them to have some fun, uh, give some trash talk, receive some trash talk, and then bring it down. But then I, as a coach, as a leader, can step in and then help them realize that the connections to the field or the court or their actual sport or arena as much as I can. So everybody stepping into an environment, movement based, that they suck at, it is a trust multiplier. We're all vulnerable, we're learning, and we're laughing, and that just builds trust across the team. So, yeah, pickleball, bowling, dance, golf, where you may have some studs on there, but they're usually the mystery stud like the backup quarterback that's amazing at golf. He's got too much time on his hands. He should be practicing more football, right? So then I turn his skill, his amazing skill at this random sport, into some more humor, right? Um, so this also starts to build inside jokes, shared stories. We went ice skating one year at my college. Went in D.C., so they had the Washington Capitals practice rink that you could rent. Well, we rented as a team. It was hilarious. You had amazing, and then I've told the hilarious story of one of my teammates, Latimer, just staring down dudes in his underwear and a shirt that says "Every dog has a day." Well, he was terrible at lacrosse, but guess what? We all step into this practice arena for the Washington Capitals, and we're all sucking at ice skating, and Latimer just kills it, just doing amazing speed skating acrobatics and just blew everyone's mind. Nobody knew. Now he's making us all look bad and idiots. So uh, inside jokes, my teammates in those environments, we're not focused on our sport. It allows teammates to let their guard down and create this secret language of trust and inside jokes. And my teammates hammered me on a lot of different things, and that people would later try to use as ammunition against me as an athlete and even in the professional world. My height, my Hobbit-esque features, how much I sweated, and guess what? The trash talk I heard from sidelines in the games. Hilarious. Number 14. Why is your jersey soaked? Did you get a swirly at halftime? A la Lynchburg College, where they had couches on their sports track that surrounded the field. You had guys just yelling at me, sweating through my jersey. Well, I had heard it 1,000 times from my friends that then prepared me to just turn and laugh and give the frat bros a thumbs up. Like, that's a good one. So, preparation, trust, camaraderie, so much good is coming from Banter. It's a balanced test for you as a coach. So uh, I'll throw some questions out there, and you can even extend these to your team. But who can you joke with and still know that it's love based, it's compassionate with the humor? Who needs a little bit more celebration than sarcasm? How can you, as a captain or coach, use humor to connect with your team, not control your team? And great teams don't just talk, they laugh, roast, and rise together. That's all I got for today. Shout out to CJ. Shout out to all my teammates for giving me a hard time and helping me developing those social emotional calluses. I appreciate each and every one of you. That does it for another episode of the Captains and Coaches podcast. If you want more, I throw up all of my notes into the newsletter, detailed tools for how you can apply that. Head to captainsandcoaches.com, and we'll help you raise the game.